Namaste, Suprabhatam. Welcome to Brahma Muhurt Yoga. In today's session, initial few minutes, we are going to discuss about conflict resolution, yoga for conflict resolution, and bringing peace. We all know that Ukraine is being invaded by Russia, and there is a war going on there to topple off the government there and establish the Russia once again in Ukraine. So we are not going to go into the details of political crisis, what is going on. We are going to understand what it means to be a conflict. Means we are going to basic understanding we are going to bring about all these things. Okay. So sit comfortably. First of all, we will relax by doing meditation for peace and harmony all across the planet. After that, we will go through the information. Sit comfortably, back erect, neck erect, eyes closed, gentle smile on your face. Forget all the tensions and worries and focus only on your breathing. When we inhale, abdomen is bulging. When we exhale, the abdomen is sinking down. With each breath, we are becoming more and more relaxed. Slowly, let us bring our consciousness to the tip of the index finger and thumb. While pressing against each other, we feel the pulse. Slowly, let us move our concentration to the center of the chest. When we inhale, the chest is expanding. When we exhale, the chest is collapsing. With each breath, we are becoming more and more relaxed. Slowly, let us bring our consciousness to the nostrils. When we inhale, cool air is going inside. When we exhale, warm air is gushing out. With each breath, we are becoming more and more relaxed. Slowly, let us bring our consciousness to the center of the eyebrows. Let us visualize one beautiful Omkar of any size, of any shape, of any bright color. While focusing on this Omkar, we are going to chant it 3 times. Inhale. Feel the effect of Pranava Omkar on your mind and body. Let us visualize Mother Earth in the form of a globe, and let us visualize beautiful cosmic energy trickling down to Mother Earth, bringing peace, prosperity, and happiness all across the planet. Doing Abhishekam of Mother Earth and bringing more life, bringing more peace, bringing more happiness. This beautiful cosmic energy is coming down and reaching to the top of our head, and from there it is entering into our body, through which each and every cell of our body receives great physical, mental, social, and spiritual health. Slowly, let us bring our consciousness to understand one point, that is, we all are one. We all are one with each and every particle of this universe. We are continuously getting transformed from one form to another. Even in this form also, whatever human form we have, in this form also we are partially, every moment we are changing, we are transforming. This leads to one basic understanding that we are one with the universe. We are the universe. Aham Brahmasmi. We are the cosmic consciousness which is trying to understand and explore itself through this individual form, Tattvamasi. This whole knowledge, experience which we gain while trying to understand our true selves is the truest and the most intense knowledge, Pragnanam Brahma. Let us all visualize the suffering fellow beings right now and visualize that they are all healing. Visualize that they have all been healed. Visualize that all conflict, whichever exists on this planet, is resolved, and we all human beings come together to create great peace, prosperity, and happiness. I always visualize a world which is without borders, but not in the way what is happening right now. In a way where we all respect each other. We all respect our own unique ways of living. Respect each other is extremely important. It's a mutual respect which everybody should develop. And with that, we create a great base for the future generations to evolve more into their truest selves. With that understanding, adopt Namaskara Mudra, Omkar followed by Sahana Vavatu. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. With your eyes closed, slowly take your both the hands back. Hold your right wrist with the left palm. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, bend from the root of the back, touch your forehead to the ground. Express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, Parents, and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Namaste, everybody. Suprabhatam. So here, the thing is, recently only, before this whole Ukraine Russia thing happened, I was invited by Rotary Club, and I had, many of you might have attended also, I think. So I had shared a few slides. Those slides only I am going to show you, and we are going to revise what the concept of peace and concept of conflict is, and then through that we are going to understand the role of yoga. So welcome everybody to INRI. INRI is Yoga Environment Neuroscience Research Institute. Now neuroscience is everywhere. Everywhere you will see that because of our behavior, because of our mind, all the things on this planet, they manifest. Either they are positive or they are negative. So here you see the yoga for peace. Theme was peace and conflict resolution. Peace is written here on the sand in this way, and you can see that once the wave will come, this word will get just, it will get wiped off, either through this wave or through the wind. And that whatever process is there, that is nothing but conflict. When conflict happens, the peace is wiped off. Now why does the conflict happen? That is most important idea. And what is the role of yoga in conflict resolution? Yoga is very easy, but the principles are difficult to follow. Principles are difficult to be persisted on. Like, if any one individual tries to follow the principles of yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, and in the Yama also Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, in Niyama, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhan. All these things combined together, it's extremely difficult to follow it consistently. So why we should follow, and what exactly means, what exactly it will help, like how exactly it will help to resolve the conflicts. Peace within leads to peace outside. If I do not have peace within myself, I will not be able to bring peace outside. And that is how any conflict arises, anything which is disturbing to you inside, it comes out and it starts disturbing others as well. We all know that. And we all know that Russia also has its own problems. Despite being a big country, despite being such a huge country, the economic condition of Russia is not that great. And that is where, whenever peace is not there inside, it will start spilling outside also the conflicts. That is what. And always there will be the conflict is not just bilateral, Russia, Ukraine, it's not like that. The nations in the Europe, uh, they are afraid of Russia, so they utilized Ukraine as one pawn, and they were just supporting Ukraine and then trying to uh, trying to create some leverage against Russia. Not only NATO nations, but US also was supporting Ukraine till now. And now we see that the things have completely changed, because the ground reality is always different. The ground reality is always different. Talks are different, ground reality is always different. So these conflicts, why these conflicts happen? Why every nation has to try to dominate other nation? Why people have to create conflicts? Why people have to try to have leverage over each other? That is because of these 5 kleshas which have been mentioned by Maharshi Patanjali. Avidya, ignorance, most important aspect through which all these problems arise. Now, when we sit in meditation, when we try to think and we try to run the horses of our mind and see till what point we reach, when as a country Ukraine would have thought that what is their existence, how big is Russia, and if Russia would have thought that am I really troubled? See, there are everywhere. US also can think, any country, any individual leader or any individual person can think about all these things. And when we develop that knowledge, practical knowledge of what really is and what we are perceiving, that is very, very important, because when we perceive things wrongly, we are entering into avidya. And when we perceive things right, then we are entering into vidya. Now, vidya is right understanding, avidya is wrong understanding. And generally, wrong understanding happens because of the second point, that is asmita. Asmita means ego. Our ego does not allow us to think correctly. Our ego does not allow us to think correctly. Suddenly, we get excited. Oh, that fellow told me like this. Oh, this country is doing like that. And then it just spirals on. Raga. Raga means attachment. When we are attached to something, once again, it leads to lack of understanding. Once again, it leads to distorted understanding. Dvesha, that is jealousy. Unnecessary jealousy of one person towards other, one society towards other society, one culture towards another culture, one country towards another country. So it's not just an individual phenomenon. I always have assumed and understood that we are not just individual mind, we are collective mind. And that is where whatever happens, it happens in the individual, it happens same at the level of nation also. And that is how dvesha, that jealousy of one nation towards another nation, or one individual towards another individual, leads to disasters. We all know that. Abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is fear of death. So all of us fear death until and unless we understand what exactly death means, what exactly is the process of death, what are real threats to our existence, and what our existence is. For all these things, we need in-depth cultural background, or in-depth knowledge about our existence. Maybe sometimes we may not have on the first go. So what we should do is we should resort to right scriptures. We should resort to right questions and right answers. We should resort to right people through whom we will be getting right answers. And avidya will go off, vidya will get established. So basically, whenever you can sit in a corner, you can start writing about it. Just think about all these 5 points: avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, and you will see that most of the problems, most of the sufferings are because of these 5 things: ignorance, ego, attachment, jealousy, and fear of death, either at individual level or at a level of nation. Now, when like one of the most important aspects of resolving or dissolving ego is to understand our place in the greatest of the schemes. Okay, in the greatest of the schemes of the things. So this is just one galaxy out of billions of galaxies in the universe, and that this galaxy of ours is called as Milky Way. In that, in a very this one corner, our solar system is there, and this whole galaxy contains 100 to 400 billion stars. Now we are just talking about stars. These stars may have their own planetary system like ours. Sun is the star, and around that there are so many planets revolving around. And on that one planet, that is Mother Earth, we are having life. So even in this Mother Earth is not seen, even Sun is not seen. That big is the scheme of things, and we generally don't understand these things, and then just keep on boasting about our own individuality, our own culture, our own country, and this and that and all, and that because of that we just keep on suffering. But when we think of the bigger scheme, we should be humbled, and we should think that, oh, in this such great scheme of things, I am the one who is conscious. What is the meaning of me being conscious? Why I am so conscious? and what is the true purpose of me existing in such a great scheme of things, then automatically the smaller things will go away and we will be walking towards our truest selves. The conflicts on on a smaller scale, they just either we are male, female, other culture or nature, success or failure, left brain, right brain, logic, emotion, right wing, left wing, east, west, north, south, action, receptivity, rational, emotional, linear, and holistic. Instead of this, what we should think is that we all are fusion of all these things. We have masculinity, we have femininity. We have to understand the culture, we have to understand the nature, we have to accept both success and failure together, and we have to enjoy the logic and emotion together. We have to understand the ideas from right wing and left wing together. We have to understand the importance of East, the importance of West in terms of cultures, in terms of world, and so on and so forth. So it's never black and white. If you see here, it's never black and white. It is always gray. It is always gray, and this gray always brings joy. It always brings happiness. It always brings peace and resolution. So indirectly, the color of peace becomes gray, not white. Okay, that we need to understand. Yes. So one of the most difficult aspects of our life is understanding other person, understanding other perspective. That if we develop, then definitely most of the conflicts we can resolve. Beyond that, what I can say is that we all are in the hands of fate. We all have destiny, and the cosmic consciousness has its own ways of bringing things up. This is Ashok Chakra of our country's flags, the central part, and you can see that there are so many great qualities through which we can bring peace and resolve conflicts. So these qualities in action are Viveka, Vichara, Abhyasa, Vairagya, Shraddha, and Virya. So these are the 6 basic spokes of peace. Viveka is our analytical power. So once again, it comes down to understanding. Vichara means thought process we should have. We should have the ability to practice things. Abhyasa, ability to practice things. And then Vairagya, we should not get attached to things too much. If we develop that non-attachment, we bring one more spoke of peace. Shraddha, we should have intense belief. Now, belief is not here in any culture or any deity or anything. The belief Shraddha is towards our own true self. The Shraddha is towards our own true selves, that okay, whatever this process is, I have the faith in this process, like that. Virya means being courageous, being brave. Uh, Being brave does not only mean that you lift a gun and start shooting. Being brave does not mean that you fly a fighter jet and kill other people. It's not bravery. The bravery is standing on the right side. The bravery is speaking for the right thing. These are the things which are, uh, true braveries. And if you see, yesterday the pictures are floating that the president of Ukraine is also fighting the war. So somewhere, like in Mahabharat, like in Mahabharat, we have seen that war was inevitable, and at that time, there were chances and there is a possibility that the people who feel that they are on the weaker side will run away, will escape. But it never happened. Everybody came together and they fought. So that is to stand up with your own people. that is also called as VIRYA, and which we are seeing in Ukraine's president. Now, real versus unreal. Whenever this I spoke just now also, that whether whatever we are understanding is real or unreal, what is our perception, whether it is real or unreal, whether my fear, what I am thinking is just a fear or it is truth. So if it is truth, then we have to resolve it. But if it is not, then we have to understand the play, understand the Maya, which is overpowering us, and through that we are going to suffer ourselves, and we are maybe going to make others also suffer. Now, in this real versus unreal, in between Russia and Ukraine, what we can observe is that there is a very deep kind of feeling with Russia, that they feel that Ukraine may become a threat to them. Well, whether it is truth or whether it is false, that in-depth understanding should be developed. And then on the Ukraine side, Ukraine had to think that whatever information NATO nations and whatever information United States is trying to fill into their minds, whether it is going to help them on a long term or not. So these are some of the very basic understandings which one needed to develop before whatever has happened, it could have been resolved without much of damage. Now, whenever we compare things, they create conflicts. So that is why you cannot take anybody's side. You should not take anybody's side. You should try to bring that gray color instead of painting it white or black. Relationships, comparison creates conflict. Marriages, family, business, everywhere you see language, tribes, nations, religions, and ideas. Everywhere, whenever we compare, we fall into trouble. So this trouble, if you want to avoid, we should not compare. We should not compare ourselves with others, and we should not compare things in between them. So that is where we will be able to avoid conflicts. Okay. Now it happens. No, like Ukraine would have thought that the NATO nations are better than Russia. Ukraine would have thought that the friendship of US is better than Russia, and Russia would have thought in some other manner. So all these things they create conflicts, and then they escalate. Just think over it. I'm not trying to turn you into me. I am trying to turn you into you. This is what a true guru should be doing, and this is how we can establish inner peace. Okay. Never try to paint anybody with your color. Try to bring the best from or within others. Then only we will be able to achieve greatness together. We all know that this Columbia shuttle, it just got dissolved into the space. It got damaged and it got burnt into the space. In that, one of our great astronauts, Kalpana Chawla, was also there. And this Israeli astronaut, he had told that peace and a better life for everyone on earth. That is what he had told when he looked from the greater perspective, from the space, when he looked at the space, and when he looked at Mother Earth, he felt that there should be peace and better life for everyone on the earth. That is how the higher perspective comes, when we think and we see the things from a different angle. So that is what it is. So this is me doing an asana with the support of chair. This is me doing breathing practice. So whenever we are practicing yoga, no, we are trying to bring the best out from our body and mind and tune them together to understand our true selves. When that happens, we become a better individual, and even if we are in this kind of a traffic, we will not be perturbed. We will be calm, cool, and quiet. And this problem also, this traffic problem, would have happened because people lack patience, people lack understanding, people lack empathy, and people think that they should be the first to go and they get stuck somewhere, and then this whole traffic jam will happen. So that is why our existence is never individual. We are all interlinked. If one person or one nation commits a mistake, then the whole humanity, the whole life on this planet is going to suffer. Not only humans. We are seeing that the trees are also getting burnt, the crops are also getting burnt, other animals also will suffer. All these things will happen. It's not only us, it's about the whole life, the ecosystem in general. Okay. So to conclude, on the concluding remarks, that when we sleep, we are into samadhi, but that is involuntary. We enter into samadhi by default. But when we voluntarily sleep, that becomes the samadhi. Okay. So just think over it. And to practice that, when you are going to sleep, try to develop samadhi. Then automatically your understanding and experience of sleep and samadhi will improve. Last but not the least, Maharshi Patanjali has given a sutra about how we can bring extreme happiness all across the planet by developing Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam, Sukha Dukkha, Punya Apunya Vishayanam, Bhavanach Chitta Prasadanam. Means we should develop friendliness, we should develop compassion, we should develop unconditional love. And when things are not good and some people do not understand us, then we have to do upeksha. Upeksha means we have to neglect some things which are not in our control, and we should have balance when we are having sukha, dukkha, punya, apunya. Generally, we have seen if one person is happy, the another person becomes unhappy, or else if one person is unhappy, other person becomes happy, or else we ourselves, when we are happy, we have a different emotion, when we are sad, we have different emotion. If we are happy, we try to show it off to others. If we are unhappy, we try to transmit that unhappiness to everybody. So there are this on this shloka I can speak for 1 hour, but in short, if I want to say, be friendly, develop some compassion, try to love unconditionally, and try to neglect things which are not in your control. Try to maintain emotions. Try to maintain emotions. It means that it does not mean that you suppress emotion. Whatever emotion is there, you should know that this is just a temporary emotion. The truest of the emotion or truest of our consciousness has to reach to a level where it develops chitta prasadanam, means the intense happiness, the intense and continuous happiness. So this is
1, 2, 3.
This is what is chitta prasadanam.
Last 1.
Our mind, when we see something, beautiful, it should, in that moment, it should enjoy. It should bring that truest of the emotion from inside. If we have become like a rock, if we have become like a stone, our heart has become like a stone, it means that we have lost touch with our consciousness. That is what happens in politics. That is what happens when people grow up. But when you develop that childlike curiosity, childlike happiness, you will definitely bring peace and happiness to people around you. Whenever conflict arises, practice active listening. Give time to listen. Control your anger. Don't leave the problem unsolved. This is very, very important. This is where whatever conflicts are there all across the planet, keep talking, keep trying to solve the problem until the problem is solved. Be clear about what you want. Learn to forgive each other. Take turns to talk to each other about the problem. Stay calm, compromise, stand up for yourself by being assertive, and deal with what is happening right now. So, whenever things, suppose if they go wrong, then deal with what is going on right now. That is what Ukraine also is doing. The pyramid of violence, the pyramid of peace. You have seen this previously also. Once again, I am showing you. Segregation means if somebody is like separating, oh, okay, you are this and you are that, you are not this, you are not that. That is where segregation happens. That puts fear, ignorance into your mind, that develops prejudice, that develops discrimination, that develops violence, and then finally you can see war. So you can see here the Soviet Union got segregated, and after that there is fear, there is ignorance. Then the neighboring countries have developed prejudice, and then that discrimination where you are treated better than other country, and then that leads to violence, then that leads to war. In Ukraine, also on the eastern side, which is on the Russian side, there are two small independent territories, which because of support by Russia, it means that is once again the Russian side of segregation, and then ultimately leading to war today. How to establish peace? How to establish peace is connect truly. It's not just for the sake of some business or for the sake of some your individual benefits or just for sake of greed. No, connect, respect, genuine respect, recognize everybody's perspective, empathize, assertive communication and conflict resolution, finally peace. Now, empathy is a very, very interesting subject, and it takes extreme amount of bravery to reach to the level of being empathetic. Okay, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not understood by everyone. That is also there. And who is Ishvara? Who is this Ishvara? Klesha karma vipaka ashayera aparamrushtaha purusha vishesha Ishvara. Means the person who goes beyond all these conflicts and does not get affected by all the conflicts, untouched. That person is Ishvara. So we all can try to do that. Ishvara is not only one thing. Ishvara is present everywhere. Ishvara is present in all of us also. The only thing is we have to install that Ishvara. We have to establish that Ishvara within us. So with that understanding, so thank you very much everybody for listening so patiently. This is our re-entry Sankalpa. This Sankalpa we had taken long back when we started Brahma Muhurta Yoga sessions, and we intend to bring 1 crore people together to practice meditation early in the morning in Brahma Muhurtam, and through that develop great consciousness which is empathetic and which is ready to establish peace, prosperity, and happiness without any individual, without any selfish motives. We will do a practice of Viloma, Anuloma, and Pratiloma Pranayam also today also. Just sit comfortably in any of the asanas which you feel comfortable, and then we can practice any asana, whichever you feel comfortable, you can sit in. I am right now sitting in Vajrasana. Gently adopt Chin Mudra. Keep your spine straight. Gently bring your chin towards the chest. You can do the same practice in lying down position also, that is also fine. You can do the same practice in chair also, that is also fine. Okay. Keep the spine straight. Develop that Jalandhar Bandha. And now, when you are inhaling, inhale with breaks. Exhale in a single stroke. Viloma Pranayam. Now inhale in a single stroke and exhale in installments. Now inhale also in breaks, exhale also in breaks. Now we are going to practice Anulom Pranayam. For that, develop Nasika Mudra. Inhale with both the nostrils and exhale with one nostril. So inhale with both the nostrils. Relax your shoulders, you relax your elbows. Just relax and keep it like this. Inhale through both the nostrils. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through both. Exhale through right. Continue the practice. After a sufficient practice, exhale through the left nostril, and let us change our practice to Pratiloma Pranayam, where we inhale through one nostril and then exhale through both the nostrils. Start from the right nostril. Let us inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through both. Inhale through the left and exhale through the both. Continue the practice for a while. Slowly stop the practice. This was Pratiloma. Now we will do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Nadi Shuddhi is inhale through one nostril and then exhale through another. Then inhale through this one and then exhale through the first one. Like that. 1, 2, 2, 1. It will keep on moving like this. Left to right, right to left. So start with exhaling from the left nostril. Exhale from the left nostril. Inhale from the left nostril. Exhale from the right. Inhale from the right. Exhale from the left. After some time, exhale through the left nostril and stop the practice. Gently adopt Prana Mudra. Prana Mudra is Anamika and Kanishta, like this. Okay. Touch against each other gently. And then close your eyes. Breathe gently. Observe the changes which have happened in last almost 1 hour. Try to contemplate on what we have all explored in terms of conflict and its resolution, bringing peace. To be very frank, the conflicts are not just recent, conflicts are not just, they're not so easily understood in 1 hour. Conflicts, they are being carried on for generations and generations, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. And maybe the conflicts are going on since millions and billions of years, in terms of, if we want to speak in terms of life as a whole. The life which has happened, it has its own conflict, and that itself manifests through all the animals, all the living beings, not only us. All living beings have conflicts. We as human beings have developed higher level of consciousness, but still we are the part of the consciousness which is there since billions of years. So don't think that conflicts are just understood via some small video like this. Conflicts are eternal, but at the same time, the practice of yoga is also eternal. The establishment of peace is also eternal. And the pursuit of happiness is also eternal. What we want to choose, whether we want to choose conflict or we want to choose peace, prosperity, and happiness, that is always, always in our hands. We can choose, and we can help others also to choose. Let us keep all the suffering beings in our mind. Let us pray for them. Let us wish, let us visualize that all the leaders, they achieve the real greatness and bring peace, prosperity, and happiness to all around us, or else we develop into the leaders who can bring that peace, prosperity, and happiness. Adopt Namaskar Mudra. Omkar followed by Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः Shanti. With your eyes closed, slowly take your both the hands back. Hold your right wrist with the left palm. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, bend from the root of the back. Touch your forehead to the ground. Express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, your parents and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands. Rub your palms against each other to generate heat or positive energy. Keep them over your eyes, head, neck, shoulder, arms, forearms, chest, abdomen, thighs, and the legs. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in and for your patient listening. If you feel this whatever discussion we had, whatever information we shared is useful, please share it with maximum number of people, and please try to bring more understanding in and around you. Thank you everybody. If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any feedback, you are most welcome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.